Evil Genius Beer Company out of Pittston, Pennsylvania. New phone, who dis? Is a caramel macchiato porter with coffee and natural caramel added. 6% alcohol. Let's give it a shot. Evil Genius. Another beer that's just been on my channel all over the place. They've gone up and down with me in the last couple beers that I've tried from them. This one, however, is a good comeback. As disappointed as I have been with some of their beers, this one I've seen on social media a long time ago, and it just finally kind of made its way to my review. This one, when I first tried it, it immediately comes off like something from Starbucks, like a caramel. I don't know. I don't frequent Starbucks that often, but maybe if it's Dunkin' Donuts you go to, something like a caramel coffee or like a caramel frappuccino or caramel something. It says macchiato. I don't usually get macchiatos, so I don't know what that tastes like. But this tastes like something caramely, something store-bought, something very, not necessarily syrupy, but if you would go to these coffee shops and get a caramel flavored whatever, caramel is a syrup. Yes, that's what you're getting in these drinks. But I don't use that as an insult. The porter is dark. It's exactly what you want. There's a slight bitterness. Not too much of a bite. It comes out very smooth, very almost silky. There is a density to the beer, but I think it's the caramel. Not only are porters denser in general, but the caramel, again, it's like a syrup. Caramel's thick. You kind of get this illusion that it's making the beer thicker than what it is, but it just comes off very smooth. The caramel's not overdone. It is a very nice, smooth, sweetened caramel, as it should be, but it doesn't go overboard where you're like, oh, that's way too much caramel. It's very, very mild, but it's also not too mild. It layers it. It's almost like squirting caramel on top of your ice cream or something like that. It's very layered right on top of the beer. Just underneath that, you get that coffee taste, and it's not overbearing and it's not aggressive and it doesn't drown out anything else. You get the porter, you get that slight coffee flavor, and then it layers it with the caramel. It's weird how this beer it comes off very, I guess you can kind of picture it in your head when you're drinking this. Again, it's a dark beer, not high in alcohol content, but it's thicker, it's heavy, and I can see this being one of those beers that if you're not a caramel fan, you're probably not going to like it. But not only that, if you're not a sweet beer fan, you're probably not going to like it either. And of course, if you're not a porter fan, well, obviously you're not going to like it. But if you like your porters, if you like your sweet beers, and if you don't mind caramel, this one, or coffee for that matter, this one is very pleasant. I was very surprised with it. I was very pleased with it. But even for me, this is one of those beers that after two, you would probably stop. Your taste buds would probably be screaming, okay, that's enough. So that's my drinkability. I think this is a cold month beer. It's a dark porter. It's caramel. I just can't picture on a hot day sweating out at a barbecue wanting something like this. But I could be wrong because there have been times where I've wanted something like this. But I think this leans more towards the cold months. On a scale of 1 to 10, I got to give this an 8. For my first caramel macchiato beer, there's not many beers that throw caramel up front and center on their beers. It's usually some sort of chocolate or toffee or vanilla or something along those lines. But caramel right up front, it's rare that I've seen that. And this one did a good job. And now this is going to be my baseline for any caramel beers I try after this, if there's any caramel macchiato beers. But I think this is really nice. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So again, that's Evil Genius Beer Company, new phone, who dis, caramel macchiato porter, 6% alcohol. Good job.